So here we are in the big blind facing a small blind open. King Jack suited is a mandatory 3-bet. And so we do. This board is particularly good for the big blind. We have more trips in our range, and also some of our trash hands are connecting with the 8. So my strategy would be to bet half pot here with range. The small blind can't really do much here, all he has is the lower pocket pair region in his range. He has pocket 8s and pocket 3s, but aside from that, he doesn't really have any trips in the range. He doesn't really have a lot of 8x in the range, so he has to defend with ace-highs and stuff, and the lower pocket pair region, and all of our bluffing hands contain a lot of equity. So my advice in this spot would be to range bet for half pot. Instead we are checking, so let's look how MDA thinks about the spot. Here I selected the BVB scenario in the 3-bet pot line. The small blind is a pre-flop caller and he's checking. The check call frequency is lower than it should be, and the check raise frequency is GTO-ish. That means that our bluffs on the flop realize more equity because the small blind is going to overfold. So we have more EV in the bet line compared to GTO versus the pool. If we instead use the check line, then the small blind will probe too often into our range, 44% versus 34% from the GG bot hands. So we are going to have to face a difficult decision on the turn too often. And also, if we are facing a bet, our EV will be drastically reduced. On the flip side, if the small blind will check on the turn and not elect to probe, then he will also have to overfold because he's betting so often. But the same scenario with the overfold frequency we have already on the flop, and this one only occurs half of the time. So my advice would be to always bluff on the flop. Now in this scenario, facing a small bet size, King Jack suited still contains some equity in the hand, so I wouldn't try to lay this one down. We have two options, we can either call or raise directly. If we are calling, we are going to bluff the river often. So if the small blind probes into our range, then he's going to check fold a bit too often on the river, although this scenario is not drastically overfolded, it's slightly overfolded, so we still gain more EV than we should, but compared to the flop bet line it's probably superior. The other option we have is raising the turn directly versus the probe. Here the GG racks are drastically overfolding, so we can either raise a turn or call this bet and then hope that the small blind will check and in turn fold off. So we are calling, and unless the small blind checks, we are going to give up. If he checks, we just bet a normal size here. There's not much of a point to go massive here, I think, without any blockers, so just bet a normal size and we get the fold.